Time for the losers bracket. The NA qualifier for the Heroes International continues, and we are in the losers bracket, everybody. The Anti-Clown Association in a best-of-3 series, going up against Imagine. And once again, the quick note, if you're surprised that there's no draft, the answer why that is pretty simple. These games are all casted from replays. I don't know the score, I don't know who wins, I don't know what happens here. But since this was all played on the NA server in different time zone, and sometimes even colliding with other tournaments, couldn't cast this live. Unfortunately, draft information is not saved in replays, therefore we can't go through the draft together, but we have all the action coming up with the Anti-Clown Association on the left side with Mason Blaze on Blaze as usual, Kelsey on Mephisto, we got Filth on Phoenix, June on Malfurion, and Vince on Nubarak. We got JTR on Medivh, Shati on Anduin, Fatal Rampage on Leo, Brandon on Diablo, let's go Brandon, and Breakwood is playing Sylvanas. This is a best-of-3 series, as I already pointed out. I believe it is the last best-of-3 series in the tournament. We already had one best-of-5 in the winner bracket final. But yeah, this is obviously still for the first seed of North America for the Heroes International. If you want to have more information about the offline event that is going to take place in the middle of October in Miami, then you can go to heroesinternational.net and check it out there. For everybody that watches this on YouTube, I'm also going to add links to the video description. You can check out all the details about the event, when it takes place, and also when exactly to tune in for it. All of the games will, by the way, be streamed on my Twitch channel, so twitch.tv/Khaldor is where this is all going to happen in October. Medivh, by the way, this is happening right now in Tomb of the Spider Queen game number 1, and we got an immediate double kill for ACA as they take Medivh and Diablo down, so good for them. But yeah, there's obviously a lot going on with the event. There's 11,000 euros, sorry, dollars on the line for the winners, and we have North American, Korean and European teams all at the venue, which is going to be awesome. The first big international tournament ever since Blizzard shut down HGC. And also super important, especially if you catch us on YouTube, we have also crowdfunding going on where the community can support the event, and I can only once again encourage all of you that if you like events like this, if you want to see more in the future, to support the event. Every single donation is going to be met by an equal donation from our sponsors, who are also hardcore Heroes of the Storm fans. So it's an event from the community for the community, and it's going to be awesome. And we have already announced a couple of casts. I myself am going to be there, Trixler is going to commentate with me, but through the crowdfunding it's going to be possible for us to just get more value in, get the production higher, help all of the teams, of course, also to cover the flight costs, hotel costs and everything that is involved there, and hopefully set up more events like this in the future. So support is always welcome. The link is in the video description if you watch this on YouTube, and everybody else probably already knows how to check this out, but you can also find the link on heroesinternational.net. With that said and done, we have in our losers bracket here the Anti-Clown Association with a pretty solid start into the game. Now obviously look over to what the red team is running, and it's pretty evident that they are hoping to also get a couple of combos off. You could go into some wombo setups when you're trying to use the ley line into an apocalypse, if you want to go down that path. Even when Diablo and Medivh are played together though, you oftentimes see Diablo still going into the lightning breath, since the combo can be easily interrupted. It's interesting to also see that we have Phoenix now in the game. Not really a hero that you get to see a whole lot, but of course there's always some players that have certain preference picks that they really like to just showcase, and that oftentimes influences also how the team drafts. Mephisto and Medivh. It's gonna be a bit of a mage battle there towards the end too. I mean, Mephisto is gonna be the one that is most likely gonna deliver a huge chunk of the damage for the blue team, and then on the red team side you have Medivh that will try to set up portals to catch him, pressure him a little bit more, get those ley lines in, and yeah, it's going to be fairly interesting to see what they can do. But for me personally, especially coming from the European meta, the pick into Phoenix is really interesting, because that's not something that you see a lot. I think NA is honestly one of the only regions that gets any of these Phoenix picks here right now. In the qualifiers for Europe, I believe he wasn't picked once, and I haven't really seen him in any of the bigger tournaments in Europe for the last year or so. And the same is also true for Korea, even though the Koreans obviously have a bit of an issue with the fact that there's just not that many tournaments in the first place, and they don't have as vibrant a competitive scene as other regions do right now. But they still have some of the best players in the game. which they are hoping to showcase in Miami. Tempest already qualified, of course. Now, with this, we have the blue team turning in, but they lose Phoenix. All right. Phoenix gets popped just as the Web Weavers touch ground. That's a bit unfortunate. And we had for a moment Kelsier trying to get a counter kill on Ando in here. That didn't quite work for him, but here's the second attempt, and he nearly got it. Yeah, Phoenix is also coming back. Ando doing his best to make sure that nobody dies on the red team side. But as all of this happens, we have at the bottom of the map still some pressure against Fatal Rampage. He was trying to defeat Mason Blaze and that Webweaver wave, but that's a lot of damage incoming. And at the top side, nobody's dealing with the situation right now either. So another problem that they have to face off against. The wall has fallen, but so have the Webweavers. But that fort at the bottom of the map is honestly taking a bit of a beating. That's 50% of the hit points gone, more than that even. So given the circumstances, that's not too bad. I mean, of course, you are hoping to walk away with the destruction of a fort when you're getting the objective on Tomb of the Spider Queen. But given that they had to start all of this up, that's a suicidal Diablo here. Gets the portal and is able to get away. Now, when you have a Medivh against you, what's really important is portal control. And yeah, Mephisto gets chased and dies. Goodbye. Whoops. A lot of hatred gone. But what I was about to say is that if you are going up against Medivh, you really want to have portal control. And portal control comes through anything that can prevent an opponent from going through a portal. And that's especially true, or especially the case when you have a lot of stuns, when you have a lot of displacement. And in this case, they have the root on especially June's Malfurion that is going to help them with that. And you can see that happen time and time again. Whenever that portal pops up close to them, June places down one of his roots to make sure that whoever comes through the portal is not going to be able to instantly engage upon them. Medivh at this point on 25 stacks, so he's trying to make sure that he's completing that, but they are going for Brandon here. Brandon might be in trouble. He's not the only one. The Crybaby is also a little bit low, but Andon is able to walk away. We had a bit of a rotation around as got Filth moved down to the bot lane. Red team turning in with Breakwood here. Level 10 versus level 10, so both teams now with heroic abilities. Leyline has already been used, and as more or less predicted earlier, we have indeed the Lightning Breath over the combo with the Apocalypse. And the bottom fort falls, so the blue team was able to destroy it after all. Now the only question that remains, at least for now, is what can Imagine do? Can they pay them back in kind and take a fort down as well, or is that not going to be in the cards for them now? Phoenix is already doing a decent job defeating the bot lane and keeping that at bay, and up towards the top, Mephisto is going to be the one that has to try and shut this down as best he can. Sylvanas is a huge factor here on the other hand, and she is currently at the top, or at least she was, moving towards the mid lane now. 11 to 11, 2 kills to 2. And it seems, at least for now, that the Anti-Clown Association is doing pretty well on the defense. Here comes the light bomb. Nice entomb from Leo. They try to go for good filth. And got hit points. Yes, he still has some. So, got hit points. Is able to make it out of the fight. And that was a very good defense. And a very uneventful push for Imagine. They were definitely hoping for a lot more than that. So all of the Web Weavers are defeated, and if I'm not mistaken, they didn't even take an entire wall down. So they did damage to towers and to some of the gates, but they weren't able to take an entire wall. They themselves, the red team, have lost a fort and lost 50% of the HP on the top fort too. So very, very good start for the blue team. ACA probably very happy about this, and they're still holding enough gems for another turn. And same, by the way, for the red team, so everybody is hoping for their second turn in now. Yeah, and another Siege Giant camp is also about to be taken. Leo is able to turn in 23 gems. So he didn't contest the Siege Giant camp, but he got his gems delivered. But that allows for more pressure from Godfilth at the bot lane now. Sylvanas has to also retreat to deal with all of this, make sure that they're not losing even more hit points on the top fort, but that might just result in some of the blue team's heroes turning in. And yes, Blaze is the first one. 31 gems delivered by them, and they might be able to sneak somebody down to the bottom turning point now, especially with, of course, the Siege Giants pushing the bot lane out, and eventually somebody on Imagine's side will have to deal with that. Here comes the Cocoon. Are they going to try and follow up with another stun here? So far, that's not the case, but they got level 13, so they really want to force this. Anduin shutting it down early. Here comes the light bomb. Here comes the ley line. They're trying to get everything done here. Brandon moving in from behind, very much alone and isolated, but the portal is there. The root from Malfurion is dropped right away, and even Tranquility already used. Everybody is popping ults and turning into a pirate. Arrgh. But nobody dying just yet. They might have a shot at Leoric here. And also, Salvo is out, does some damage, not enough to kill Sylvanas or Leo, but they push them all back, and now they're just falling back down to the bot lane. And this is another 6 gems about to be turned in. It's not going to be enough, so they're even abandoning that. No chance at the turn-in, despite the fact that they just forced them back with a level 13 talent advantage. 36 stacks for Medivh. But he's not getting that either. Always the stun threat. And here's the interrupt. So level 13 is ready. That gives us the Enduring Will. And we also have the boots for Anduin. Gonna follow that up, of course, with the double pull on level 16. Just one of the most powerful talents for the hero in the game. Like, no doubt about that. They can't get that turn in just yet. If somebody's able to sneak down to the bottom turn in point, it would be a bit of a difference. But it's not really going to be a thing anytime soon. Well, Sylvanas gets caught for just a second, still able to escape. And they are hoping for more kills. Sylvanas attempting to follow up. She obviously also has the mind control here. Cocoon used again against Medivh. Oh, this could be a kill. The stuns lined up perfectly. And they get... No! All of the stacks are lost. They got Medivh. Got him. And Breakwood dies too. Oh my god. What a fucking disaster for Imagine. Oh, I can't imagine a fight that could have gone any better for the Anti-Clown Association. You kill Medivh just before he gets the stacks together. All of them removed, as you can see here. Perfect stuns, lined up beautifully well. They got the fort. They're going to get another fort now as well. And on top of that, they're also going to get a boss. That is nearly a death blow. Oh, that is just brutal. Brutal, savage, wrecked. He literally lost 39 stacks. Medivh is back to 0, completely reset. Can't do anything about this. Boss is taken. All of the forts are gone. A 2-level lead, 3 kills ahead. We have level 16 talents. Web Weavers are on the ground. It's a double whammy that we're looking at. This is a total nightmare for Imagine. An absolute nightmare. Ults are going to be ready. I don't believe there is a chance to hold that top keep either. And if you lose a few more heroes here, then ACA might even just go for the core. That's insane. That is honestly crazy. What a huge momentum swing. ACA, that fight was glorious. Now they try for Kelsia. Mind Control is out, but that didn't work for them either. We got Phoenix still in the middle. Diablo doing his best here. He's focused. He might fall. Nah, the ley line saves him. And the portal is there too, but Leoric dies, gets killed solo by Phoenix in the mid lane. As the keep gets destroyed, the one in the middle is also going to take a beating. And this is just a total disaster. Imagine is falling apart here. They're absolutely falling apart. They're trying to stop the bleeding, but it's just not happening. The first keep is gone. The second keep about to be destroyed. The core under attack. Down go Medivh, Anduin, and Diablo. And this is just game. 13 minutes in, and ACA takes the lead in this best-of-3 series in the losers bracket of the first North American qualifier for the Heroes International. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2 and match point. The best of 3 continues with Battlefield of Eternity. We get the Anti-Clown Association with a pretty big victory in the first map. They snowballed this one hard. We got Imagine. I imagine they had to lick their wounds a little bit between games. Now that we got, on the left side, got Filth on Liming. He's going to be supported by June's Ana, so nano boost incoming. With Vince on Murden, Mason Blaze, for once not on Blaze, but on Urel. And we got Kelsia on Lunara for the blue team. On the right side of the map, it's JTR on Hanzo. We got Fatal Rampage on Hogga, Breakwood on Chromie, Shutty on Brightwing, and Brandon is playing Garrosh. Yeah, going straight into the body check on level 1 here. And there's the flip, there's the hit, and Wins is like, alright, I'm not welcome here. I'm gonna leave. So yeah, he's already out. We're gonna have that 4-1 split eventually. Currently there's a little bit of a trap for Hogger at the top, but Fatal Rampage is still totally fine here. It's a 2v3 split for them, but I would assume that the blue team is eventually gonna rotate into a normal 4-1 rotation and mark the traditional split here. But things are actually going well for them with Lunara. I mean, if you got Lunara, we've seen this play multiple times now when Lunara is part of the draft. And they can poke this down quickly, which they do. And it seems that can't really imagine that they're gonna do as much damage at the bottom of the map. So instead they're just meeting the split and move Hanzo towards the top. So a 3 versus 3 is the result at the bot lane as they're going over this. But I'm actually kind of curious to see how much Godfilth can do with his Chromie, Li Ming. Because nano boosted Li Mings can be a lot of fun. And Li Ming on this map is of course great for all of these stalemate situations where you're playing around the Immortal in a bit of a standoff. And when you have then the nano boost and can just bunny hop your way with one calamity after another, capitalizing on the resets through the opponent's team and get kills, then the damage is just ramping up like crazy. For now, we have a normal split between the camps, so they rotated an additional hero over with Brightwing, so it's just a blue team's camp at the bot lane, red team has taken the top, everybody just easing into this. Good heroes for immortal damage, especially on the side of the red team, of course, with Hanzo, who's still one of the top, if not the top damage dealer against the immortal. Like, he's absolutely fantastic on this and can just poke from a distance. If June can land those sleep darts reliably in the later stages, especially these immortal fights on the other hand, then Li Ming in particular is going to pack a punch with all of that burst damage that she's going to deliver. And then some follow-up from Lunara would also help a lot. Especially since you can also then capitalize on some of the slows. But yep, here we are. A bit more poke is happening as they are going for the first camp. And well, hello, Li Ming gets murdered. Yeah, flattened like a pancake. A little bit too close to Garrosh, and then Bob's your uncle. One flip, a little bit of damage, and goodbye. Chromie gets the kill together with Garrosh, and that is first blood in the game. So good for them. Everybody gets their camp. Not so okay. Timing, same for both of them. But the Immortal is going to pop up. It's going to be a 5 versus 5. Li Ming is obviously back. Early game death timers. Not really that big of an impact here. We are starting things off with the Time Walker's Pursuit and then with the Möbius Loop, by the way. But here we go. So Hanzo is immediately at it. I mean, Hanzo with the level 4 in particular is right there, but he's also pretty low. Yeah, that got close. If he doesn't jump out in that situation, if he gets hit by the Sleep Dart, for example, then yeah, he's just gone. Li Ming would move in and take that opportunity to deliver a kill. And if your main damage dealer against the Immortal is gone this quickly from the first fight, you can imagine how this is going to go. But Breakwood also finds herself in a bit of a pickle. Brightwing is moving in to help out, at least is signaling that she would be ready. They're poking this one down slowly. It is time for the 5th to join the battle. And here comes Yrel, trying to go for Garrosh. Nice! Nice flip by Garrosh. That could have been a problem for him, but he reacted well, and Brightwing was also paying attention. So now it's just both teams exchanging damage against the Immortal. But another good Stormbolt! And the kill! There it is! Easy drop on Hanzo. They're trying the counter kill on Muradin, but he turns it around with another Stormbolt. They're really landing these super reliably, and it's a huge problem for Garrosh this time, and he's gonna fall. Now that he gets shut down here by Yrel, he is going to die. They're also killing Brightwing. Oh my god, 3 kills to 1, and they won the halftime show. The blue team with such a slaughter this early in the game. ACA is not clowning around in this one either. Game number 1 was already rough, but now we're looking at 3 kills to 1, and they get objective number 1 too. So they have a lead in experience, a lead in talents, they get the objective, and damn, that's nasty. They took all the momentum from the first map and just transferred it over into game number 2, as it seems. And again, quick reminder, this is a best of 3. We are in the losers bracket. Whichever team loses here is out of the tournament. Only the winner has another shot to make it all the way to the grand final. Level 7 gave us Calamity as usual. And it is a party time. Here we go. Trying to push to the bot lane. Urel is still at the top, so they're fighting a 4 versus 5 for now. Bit of damage on the fort, not too much. Ooh, what is that? Hello? Full on lag? Blizzard? What's happening? Hello, team? Heroes crashing or what's going on there? This is a replay, for crying out loud. Why is that gonna be shut down completely? Alright, we're back after that little encounter. Brandon makes it out of the fight. No idea what exactly happened there, but had to literally restart the entire game. Massive login problems on the Blizzard server and authentication stuff. But again, we're back. So, the fort doesn't fall. They only get the wall, and they were able to also destroy some stuff topside. But they're still as aggressive as before. Mirrodin jumping on Chromie, and they are all just going for Breakwood here. And honestly, I love it because I get total flashbacks. This is something that Fnatic has actually done in Europe in the days of HGC. I can still remember how Breeze counter-picked Chromie by using Mirrodin and then literally just jumped on her whenever he had a chance, pressured her completely and made it nearly impossible for Chromie to get any coordination with the rest of the team. And this is a little bit similar what we're seeing from the Anti-Clown Association right now. So about to hit level 10. They are ahead experience pretty significantly with all the kills that they got, but wins. Barely makes it out. So yeah, Vince is out, but now we have first of all the wave of force for the playmaker abilities on Li Ming. Nano boost, anything else would shock me, and there it is. So now Li Ming can fully pop off in these fights, and level 10 is going to make it even harder. I mean, the damage is just coming, as you can see. Now Hanzo has to move back up at the top. Of course, Urel, she was able to nearly take the entire wall down as she had free reign earlier. And they are trying to steal the camp away. And why wouldn't they? They have a half-level lead. They have a level 10. Why wouldn't they go for this? Any fight that is happening around heroic abilities is fantastic for them. As long as they don't do that. Yeah, that can't happen. That was pretty dumb. So Li Ming runs straight into Garrosh, gets flipped into the range of both towers and gets popped like a pimple. The camp gets taken, and that's how you start a comeback. So yeah, good job. The arrow is in, and now it's the... Oh, Ana is dead, and goodbye Mirrodin. Mirrodin is not gonna make it either. Okay guys, we have a match on our hands. It looked for a second as if ACA would just walk over them, take a 2-0 victory and move on to the next round of the losers bracket. But this just became a lot more interesting because now we're looking at a halftime show victory for Imagine. And yeah, a couple of easy kills. So it's, I mean, we're literally tied. Tied in kills, tied in experience. And this is just beautiful. So ACA just threw the lead away. I honestly don't really mind going for this camp. I really don't. But you can't just run into Garrosh like this. So they got a bit surprised, I would say, by his positioning and just risk it. But that was, of course, not quite going or working as intended. But this is a big immortal. This is a huge immortal for Imagine. So now they have a shot of taking a fort down. And the blue team is definitely not happy with how this one played out. They can probably burn this Immortal down fairly quickly. It's the second one of the game, so we are only 8.5 minutes in. But they're going to lose at least some infrastructure here. That entire wall is going to fall, and there is a solid chance to take that fort too. Yeah, there's the taunt. Mirrodin! Yeah, and he gets out. Mirrodin jumps out, Urel. Look how they're pressuring Chromie again. And there it is, the kill. Nicely done. Got Filth, gets the Calamity kill. They're chasing them even further. They're leaving the Immortal on the structure. Hogger is dead, but this fort is gonna fall. Now, since they just killed 2 heroes, they might be able to go for counter pressure themselves and drop that bottom fort. And this is exactly what they're trying to do here, especially with the potential kills that they can now get. And it's another Calamity kill from Li Ming. Nicely done by Godfilth, and it's obviously reflected in his damage output too. Sitting at 23,000 right now. So big damage from him. They're going for the bottom fort, and Urel has already transitioned over to the top lane in an attempt to do even more damage there. Arrow, they didn't see it, and they take tons of damage, but they're not losing anybody. So they're not taking that fort down yet, but they're still poking, and it is going to fall now that Kelsia made a last attempt. And at the top side, also a few of the hit points were taken away here, as Urel is making a move for the next camp. So we're back to some momentum, at least, in the hands of the blue team. So they've been doing well here. And it's particularly Li Ming that has done tons and tons of damage now. They're trying for Hogger, and he's able to make it out with a Hoarder pull, but you can really tell that there's all these situations where they're in trouble. But then this happens, Vince is jumping out and gets away, but boy oh boy was he in trouble there for a second. So they are able to escape. They have the lead in structural damage now, but essentially it's a fort on each side that has been destroyed. They're doing a little bit better top lane. And particularly Chromie is not doing well in this game. There's the nano boost. Chromie is gonna die again. And Breakwood is just broken in every encounter. They are massively pressuring her. And there's very little peel that is happening right now that can keep her alive. I think this is the third or the fourth time even that she died. So big problems here from the range damage dealer. And they just can't get the value out of Chromie that they want to. Now another Immortal is up and they are fighting with one hero down. So it's a numbers advantage already for the Anti-Clown Association. And they're looking for even more kills. They want Brightwing here. They're all playing around Brandon at this point. But, yep, for now it's 27k for Hanzo. I mean, he can still poke this, obviously, as long as he gets close enough. And he is going to use level 4 as best he can. Once again, big damage from him. But Godfilth is waiting in the wings for another opportunity. And he just chunks Brightwing down by 50%. Like it's nothing. The halftime show is already over. Brandon, yeah, he needs some assistance here. He has a really tough time making it at the front, especially since he's continuously running into the damage from Chromie and Lunara. Both of them are staying away from him as much as they can. But this is getting very tricky. It's not enough to just simply flip Muradin into the rest of the team, especially when he still has his ult up. So the cooldown is ready for them. And they are likely going to lose this Immortal, and that would put an end to that top fort for sure. This thing is already down to 20% HP. There's no saving that any longer. Nice move against Lunara, though. That's exactly the encounter that you need, and Garrosh did well here. He very much so struggled to get close enough in the earlier engages, but now he gets close to Lunara, can flip her straight into the arrow, and that allows them to get that hit. Nicely done. Godfilth also low, but able to get away. They're still trying to get a counter kill, which hasn't happened so far. And a few of the heroes are sneaking over towards the Immortal, trying to get some damage in too. If they can still win the Immortal, they would get a significant lead in structures here. But it's Chromie that nearly murders Li Ming with the damage. Anna's coming back out too. So off we go. Another attack happening, and Hanzo is just trying to get the Immortal for the team. So they're playing out a 4 versus 4 down here, with Hanzo focusing on the Immortal, on the objective, and the blue team is massively struggling to get close enough to Immortal to do anything. So this could be a win for the red team. Another stun, but they are also struggling with Hogger down here, and it's a win with 1,700 hit points left for the Anti-Clown Association. The blue team gets it, but then Lunara gets attacked again, and another arrow. Pretty much a replay from what happened earlier, but this time Imagine is not able to get the kill. ACA moves out. And yeah, that was a lot closer than it looked like initially. But with level 16 in their hands, this fort is going to be destroyed. Can they do much more with this? I'm not sure, honestly. But they are obviously going to try to make a bit of a move for that top keep. At least damage it. The shield is already gone on the Immortal. If they open the wall, that would be a step in the right direction. They got the rest of the team here. The big advantage is, of course, that level 16 talent that they're currently holding over Imagine. The red team, though, they are burning it down quickly. But the wall is at least open up, so they can see if they can continue poking just a bit more. Take that tower down. That's all they can really hope for here. If anybody steps out, they can punish him. But Imagine is also closing that gap in experience pretty quickly. So, still, it's an additional fort that they were able to take down. That's something. They still had an experience, working towards level 20 now. In addition to that, we now have Hogger down at the bottom. Camps are, of course, being focused on once more. And top side, there's already one that gets taken. We have down at the bottom of the map still one that could be claimed by Imagine, and this is what they're going to work for now. With level 16, we got the Giant Slayer, the Bluey, and the Quantum Overdrive. Urel can't do anything in that situation to slow them down. So each team gets one camp again. But there is a catapult advantage now at the top lane. And they are trying to see if they can maybe get another kill here. Hogger with a lot of damage already. Got Filthus moving in, got Nano boosted hard, but had to move back out. The Stormbolt though, every time they're on Chromie, Breakwood is getting attacked over and over and over and over again and just doesn't stand a chance here. They are just having no luck keeping her alive. That's kill number 4 against Chromie. Brightwing barely saving Hanzo. So they are firing away, hoping for additional kills, which in this case they couldn't get. But Chromie is down for another 30 seconds, and this is an insanely frustrating game for Chromie. The only one that hasn't fallen yet is Urel. The Space Goat showing her survival skills once more. Pressure at the top. The keep is down to 50% HP, so if catapults make it over here, that would be a big win during the Immortal phase. Chromie back in 10. She's going to miss at the beginning of the Immortal phase, so there should be a bit of a head start for the Anti-Clown Association. And yes, they are getting a bit of a lead here. That's a pretty solid one, actually. Yeah, they had a lot more time here than I expected them to. Level 4, of course, we have for Murden also the Sledgehammer, so even he is chipping in additional damage, and that's a halftime show victory. Without any damage done whatsoever by Team Imagine. So, this is, again, a bit of a problem for Imagine, especially since there's also... Oh, Brandon! Oh! That was nearly a kill, and it's not over yet. Brightwing has to help out. Hogger is poking hard, but if Li Ming gets another shot here, and she doesn't, that could have been a disaster. Li Ming is dead. Bot lane pressure with the camp. The same is happening up at the top. And another big arrow. Triple. It's a triple, baby. They go for Vince, and they get Vince. So they get the kill. They still have to deal with the bot lane, though, because that is opening the keep up. At the top, at least Urel is going to try to do that. But yeah, look at Lunara. She's still poking from a distance. She has the Thornwood Vines, and she is able to get more and more damage here. And that should be enough to get them another Immortal. And this time it's a much, much bigger shield. Whereas down at the bot lane, they have taken damage. Fatal Rampage with this Hogger is stopping the bleeding as best he can, but they lost 50% of the hit points down here. So every single time, it seems that Imagine is eventually gonna get the kills and is able to do their thing, but they're just not in a position where they can fully capitalize on it by getting an Immortal 2 and turning the game around. So now they can, of course, try to burn this one down quickly, since Murden is still missing. But it's still 2 keeps that are very low on their side, and eventually they are going to fall. There's so much damage coming from Li Ming and also from Lunara. And the red team is doing well trying to focus them down and get the kills against them. Li Ming in particular has died 3 times. She's always going in deep with the Calamity, but she's getting punished quickly. But the same is also happening to heroes like Chromie that just rely on distance. They don't have any of that space that they need. And now talking about Lunara, another kill. But the problem is still exactly the same. Down goes the keep. 1 keep has been destroyed. At least they got the 4th at the top. Now the core is likely going to lose at least a few hit points. It's not going to be too bad. But there should be at least some. Yep, so 10% are gone. Another hit, and we're down to 82% on the core. Murden is sitting aside. It's a bit of a scrappy game, but it feels that with every single fight, with every objective, with every encounter, Anti-Clown Association is getting a little bit further ahead. Or at least staying ahead. They're about to hit level 20. It's 9 kills to 8, so they're very even in the kill count. But, yeah. The objective is just continuously in the hands of the blue team now. It's a single Immortal that we've seen for Imagine. And it didn't do enough. Now, they have the lead. What can they do with it? There's level 20. And they're actually trying to go for the Fruit Fly. They're trying to go for Brightwing. And Brightwing is gonna die. Brightwing is gonna die. Stormbolt and... down she goes. Trash Ring has been eliminated. And what are they going to do now with that? Because level 20 will hit for Imagine. And what can the Anti-Clown Association do in the meantime? They have 40 seconds until Brightwing is back. The camp is going to be ready at the same time, so that's not going to help them. Brightwing can always portal in for it. So all that they can essentially do is try and push the top lane out a bit, eliminate the catapults and the camp. But that's about it. So, honestly, as far as kills against the red teams go, that was the best situation that they could hope for. They lost Brightwing in a spot where it didn't matter too much. ACA can't push for the core. There's nothing else they can really push for. Brightwing will be back for the objective and even for the camp here. And now everybody has level 20. So it comes down to that one fight. They have to wait a little bit more, obviously, as you can see. But they also have vision around Hanzo and others, and they double check everything. So the objective is up, Brightwing is ready, lanes got pushed out, that's the big advantage for the blue team. They have especially a push for the core coming now down through the bottom lane, since there's catapults galore, and also a camp pushing for it. So there is a time on what Imagine can do here. They need to make a move for it. Level 20 also gave us the invisible friends. And yep, it's time to party. Who is winning the fight? Are we getting the comeback? Is Imagine able to get not only the kills, but also the Immortal this time? That's what they're hoping for. Down to the bottom of the map. Yes, Urel is already trying to shield this and pushes it out even further. That's 3 catapults at the 21-minute mark. You can't let that one go. Hogger is already back, and that's going to trigger the attack against the Immortal. They know it's a 5 versus 4 for now. They got the vision on the map. Urel comes in from the side. Stormbolt! And goodbye. That's a kill. Li Ming with more damage as he's jumping in, and Brightwing gets murdered. It's a double kill, and that is rough. Not only do we have Li Ming now just sitting at the side here, could even do damage at the keep if she wanted to, which is not going to happen, I think, because she's not going to reveal her position here. But they have the halftime show won without a problem. Urel can defend the top lane, and now Lunara is going for the Immortal. This is a massive problem for Imagine. It's a huge problem. Especially with a shield that is this big, they need to at least try to reduce the shield, and that's what they're currently doing. But it is going to be a massive Immortal for ACA. And that top keep is already not looking good. 19 seconds for Garrosh, 20 seconds for Brightwing. It's bad news. Imagine is already down one map. This is the loser's bracket of the first qualifier for NA, for the Heroes International. And this is going to be more than rough. Stopping this will... honestly, this is going to need a massive, massive play from Imagine if they want to still have a chance to move to Game 3 and turn this map around. Because their keep is gone 100%, they need to force the fight quickly, and they need to win it decisively. And I'm not sure they can do that. They're going to try. But can they get into that position? The poke is happening. The keep is gone. ACA plays it slow with poke from Li Ming and from Lunara. They're trying to make a move here. And they just let the Immortal do its thing. Hogger is nearly dead and barely makes it out of the fight. The nano boost has already happened. Big damage. Big damage from God Filth. He might die and does, but so much time has already been bought. The arrow comes out, but the core is down to 60%. It's gonna fall to 50, to 40. Lunara is dead too, but the Immortal is ruthless and ends the game. A 2-0 victory. ACA moves on to the next round of the first qualifier for the Heroes International for North America, and Imagine is eliminated from the tournament. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.